On the morning of September 11th, 2001, the students, teachers, and administration of Haddon Heights Junior Senior High School came to school on a beautiful, sunny Tuesday morning. The temperature on that day was predicted to reach the mid to upper 70s with low humidity, and there was excitement in the air as our fall sports teams were preparing to begin their regular season Colonial Conference schedules. However, the events of the day impacted and changed our school and nation forever. 19 members of Al Qaeda, an international terrorist organization led by Osama bin Laden, hijacked 4 U.S. commercial airplanes. 2 of the planes were deliberately flown into the upper floors of the north and south towers of the World Trade Center complex in New York City. A third plane was flown into the Pentagon building, which is the headquarters of our nation's Department of Defense, right outside of Washington, D.C. Within 2 hours, the Twin Towers collapsed due to the damage they sustained from the planes and the resulting fires. In addition, a portion of the western side of the Pentagon sustained substantial damage as well. After learning about the attacks, passengers on a 4th hijacked plane, Flight 93, fought back, and the plane crashed into an empty field in western Pennsylvania about 20 minutes by air from Washington, D.C. Well, here at Haddon Heights Junior Senior High School, the news of the attack spread quickly around the building. Within a short period of time, all classroom instruction ceased and everyone turned on their TVs to watch as the events of the day unfolded. In between class periods, students and teachers quietly passed through the hallways as most were unable to put into words what was transpiring. At the end of the school day, the principal at the time, Mr. Sandowich, came over the public address system and instructed everyone to promptly leave the school and grounds and head home. All after-school activities for the day had been canceled. The September 11th attacks killed nearly 3,000 people from 93 different nations, and they have had a profound impact on our country. In addition, the events of the day affected those of us here in Garnet Country. One of those who died on that tragic day had a very close connection to our school. Mr. Frank DeMartini was raised in Haddon Heights and went to Atlantic Avenue Elementary School. He attended Haddon Heights Junior High and graduated from Haddon Heights High School in 1970. Upon graduation from Heights, Frank moved to Brooklyn, New York, to study architecture at the Pratt Institute, one of the nation's leading architectural schools. After earning his degree at Pratt, he decided to stay in New York City and worked in architecture and real estate development. It was during this time that he met his future wife, Nicole. Eventually, they married and had 2 children. Well, in the spring of 1993, Frank was hired by the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey to assess and oversee repairs that resulted from an attack on the North Tower of the World Trade Center earlier that year. After the work was completed, Frank decided to stay on as the construction manager of the complex, overseeing the day-to-day maintenance, planning, and modification of the buildings. Frank's wife, Nicole, also worked at the World Trade Center, and by this time their children, Sabrina and Dominic, had begun school and were truly the joy of their lives. Well, on the morning of September 11th, Sabrina and Dominic went to school, while Frank and Nicole went to work at the World Trade Center. When the North Tower was struck at 8:46 a.m., Nicole DeMartini was with her husband, Frank, having breakfast in his office on the 88th floor. Finding a stairway that was still intact, he helped usher her and others to safety. At that point, Frank made a decision to stay in the building because he knew others needed help. Armed with only a flashlight, a crowbar, and a walkie-talkie, Frank and an associate, Pablo Ortiz, selflessly worked to rescue survivors who were trapped in the upper floors of the tower and help direct them to safety. Today, it has been documented that Frank DeMartini helped save the lives of over 75 people. To those who are alive today because of Frank's efforts, he is truly a hero. To those who knew him, Frank is remembered for his courage, his passion for life, his devotion to family, and for the love that he had in being a father. Shortly after September 11th, Frank's family and friends and classmates came together and decided that they wanted to do something positive and lasting to honor him and his memory. Through their hard work and effort, the group raised over $400,000 in less than 6 months. Because of Frank's close connection to Haddon Heights High School, it was decided that the money should be used to remodel the school's auxiliary gym. Frank was a wrestler while he was here at Heights, so a wrestling and fitness center were constructed and dedicated in his memory on the first anniversary of the attacks. Today, students, faculty, staff, and community members benefit from this lasting tribute that was dedicated in Frank's honor and memory. When you have the opportunity, please go down to the gymnasium and take a moment to read the dedication plaque that hangs on the hallway outside of the entrance to the Frank DeMartini Wrestling and Fitness Center. Surrounding the main plaque are inscribed the names of the people and organizations and businesses that gave of their time, their talent, and their financial resources to make the dream of a wrestling and fitness center come true. In addition, outside the building on First Avenue, there are 2 additional plaques that also honor those who helped with the project. If you would like to find out more about Mr. DeMartini and his heroic actions on September 11th, a 90-minute film has been made entitled 9/11 Heroes on the 88th Floor. It can be seen on cable television as well as YouTube. Let us never forget the sacrifice that Frank DeMartini, as well as others, made on that day.